Yo, how's it going, guys? KPR here, bringing you guys another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to play Gambit. I've been playing Gambit basically the entire season. I picked up Rogue as well once she dropped, but I've been mainly doing Gambit because I feel like Rogue is a good tank, but she is definitely not the best at all. I would say she's high B tier if you're really like highballing her, but in reality she's probably more like low B tier. With the team up, she can be low A tier, but other than that, if you have to use almost all of your abilities in order to try to murk someone, they are not the greatest at all, especially when their cooldowns are anywhere from 6 to 25 seconds. Like, dog, 2 of the cooldowns are 15, I want to say. The only one that isn't is when you block and then use the melee, when you do that weird dash punch. That's the only one that's 6 seconds. Everything else is 10 seconds plus, and it's sometimes annoying to keep your cooldowns in check. But anyways, let's get right into Gambit. For Gambit, I feel like what people do too much with them is that they try to DPS, and that's not bad to do because you're a support, you're not strictly a healer. But I feel like for Gambit, in order to get the most out of him, isn't through DPSing as much. This feels more like Ana from Overwatch. I feel like that's how you got to play them, where yeah, you can be DPSing here and there and throwing out your small anti, but the thing that you should mainly do is try to help out your team by healing them more often. I have seen so many times where I see a different person pick Gambit and they could have healed their tank or their DPS in those few instances, but they instead were trying to murk off one of their DPS or even a tank, which I'm kind of surprised that they try to go for that. It's like, dog, like, yeah, you could win it, but you're going to be distracted for way too long and not even be part of that fight. So yeah, too many people are just trying to DPS as Gambit, and that's why most of the time they're gonna get diff. Like, oh cool, you got like what 20 plus kills, but you still took the huge L. It's like, nah dog, I'm not trying to take a L even though I got a bunch of these kills. It's not really worth it, especially when I'm playing support. This is more of a hybrid, but you will lean more towards healing if you want to play him at his full potential. You cannot be playing them like Warlock, Mantis, or Ultron. Those are definitely focused. Are Ultron mainly DPS, as well as Mantis. Warlock you can as well, since it's pretty easy to heal. You just throw your healer, you throw your tank or your DPS the heals, and it'll bounce off to other people. Boom, easy. But with Gambit, you mainly got to be focused on one thing due to the team setup sometimes being really dog water and the enemy team taking some high damage heroes. So that's why I would suggest trying to actually just focus on heals for the main part, and then DPS mainly when your ult is up, because you don't really have to worry about it at all. Another tip I'll give you guys is that your healing deck should be the main thing you're using. The anti is somewhat useful at times, only when they are ulting, but other than that, you're not really going to need it, in my opinion, just because let's say they have an enemy Gambit as well that knows how to somewhat counter you. They're going to be mainly using their heal deck either to heal boost or to fully take away that negative side effect. So please mainly use your healing deck. You can keep up so many people when you're using your healing deck due to that, not only healing them but also giving them a heal boost. I usually try to have it in every team fight, but you cannot always balance it out since it is a set time and you cannot earn this at all. So healing deck is for sure the best ability he has. It balances off so many people, especially if they're a bit low, and you're going to be getting insane amount of heals and your ult fast as well. I usually get my ult within a minute in most fights just because of how focused I am on it. It really depends how you want to play Gambit, because you definitely could play him as a hybrid where you're balancing both out, but I feel like his best potential, like I mentioned already, is when you're mainly focusing on healing your teammates. So allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but once you activate your healing deck, you actually already get the healing boost. Granted, in the video I put in my shorts, I did it mainly just because it gives out heals each time it bounces off of a person, and my group was low, so I was like, yo, you know what, I'm gonna bounce it off of both of us because then we'll be able to survive. And we were, and they actually C9 like clowns. There will be some situations where you have to DPS though. Let's say that everyone is in the front line and 2 of their dive DPS or 1 goes to the back line and it's just you by yourself. You try to call in a teammate but they don't come to you. So then of course just start DPSing them and try your best to actually get into your teammates, so now the focus won't be just on you and it could be on everyone else for you to actually just heal the damage and they can murk off that DPS. That's why I like to deal with those types of situations. Granted, when I ult, like I mentioned already, that's the best time to DPS, mainly focus on that. You can of course throw out some healing cards beforehand so everyone's heals are boosted for a bit and you can DPS for much longer. in case some of you may not know, the dash and the baton dash, to be exact, does healing. The baton ability will heal teammates, and there will be moments where you'll need to use it, whether it be to DPS or to heal your teammates, because your good healing abilities are on cooldown. I usually use the dash to get to points faster, or if I need to reload and I still see that a teammate's low, I just do the baton dash in order to heal those teammates and be able to heal in time so they don't die off and start spamming I need healing, because that does get annoying when you're like, dog, I'm healing you, I just had to reload at that moment. Or there will also be other times where you just can't out heal that damage. There was just so much damage, it's almost as if they're 1v6 and they're just focusing that one teammate, and yeah, you can try to keep them up for as long as you can, but eventually they will die if no one else is taking some aggro. As long as you have your healing deck out though, you definitely can keep them up. That's the only time you can really do that, where they're 1v6ing. And I'm seeing that a lot of people are now able to play Gambit, or understand at least that how strong he can truly be. At his best potential, he is definitely an S+ tier, the best support in the game so far. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hit with some nerfs. He already did with his ultimate, but that really wasn't jack. What, just 200 more score in order to get his ult? You can get that insanely fast still. Like I mentioned already, you could get it in under a minute if your teammates are taking a lot of damage and you're actually keeping them up. Then you'll be getting that ult insanely fast. And honestly, probably my final tip, I would say just if you are actually able to get your ult fast enough where you see that you're getting it within a minute, just be throwing your ults out. Don't wait till they ult, just ult them. Just get that fight done with so you can move on to the next one and you guys can be pushing point or holding it down the point. Now, don't worry about if you're missing ult and they ult. Your other support should have ult, but if you notice that they aren't doing the best either, or if they may need some help with that because they're taking too much aggro, then yeah, you can hold on to your ult. But either ways, even in moments like that, for me, like through my experience, I've gotten my ult insanely fast, where even when they ult, I'm not even far from mine, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. So with that being said, my guys, you guys should really learn how to play Gambit, and this is a guide to them as well. It shouldn't be too hard to pick up on it. At the very beginning it will, just because you have to get his abilities down and his cooldowns as well. But other than that, you should be able to learn them insanely fast just because of how good of a hero he is. And like I mentioned already, if you guys are playing comp, he is most likely going to get banned just because how good he is. Anyone who bans Rogue is kind of a clown. You should ban Gambit instead, because the only way Rogue can truly be a menace in the game is if she has that Gambit ult, because you can be much more aggressive since you're going to be healing yourself off of all of your hits and your abilities. So yeah, just pick him up fast in order to be able to play him early and rank up in your matches much faster. Of course, if you have a good Gambit already, you should be chilling and will most likely win that fight or game. But anyways, my dudes, that was all the tips I wanted to give you guys in order to learn how to play Gambit at his best potential. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think I missed a few things. I definitely did, because I think I only gave out like 4 or 5 tips. But other than that, there are some important tips. And if you guys agree with me, let me know down in the comments. And if you guys disagree with me, leave a dislike or explain why in the comments that you guys don't agree with me, and say what you guys think Gambit is the best at doing. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you guys are enjoying the content, please subscribe. With that being said, have a good day and stay safe. Later.